Welcome back, my friends. Woodley here. We've had so much going on over the last couple weeks. It's been a while since I've given you an update, but I'm so excited to show you the progress that we've been making, hit a few key points with you, give you a tour of the mechanical room, and let's take a look at what's going on here at the house build. So here on the first floor, the walls are painted, the ceilings have been painted, and we've did crisp linen is the color on the walls. This is a product from Benjamin Moore. It's actually crisp linen, and it's not a Benjamin Moore color, but they mixed it in with Scuff X is the paint that we have. It's come out great, and our ceilings are also done here. You're noticing these boxes that we have around. I had 3 friends of mine from church help me this weekend. 9,000 pounds of flooring. We had to move from my mom's basement up to here. That means each one of us with the loading and unloading carried 4,500 pounds in 3 hours. My arms are shot. But what we have is some beautiful flooring. We have this 3/4 inch hickory, 5-inch planks. We got a steal of a deal on this from Edgar's Material Supplies Surplus in Syracuse. When they had it, this was $275 a square foot, which is just an incredible price. It's called cabin grade. You got a lot of variation in it. Some of them, what you deal with is you have some knots in there. So we probably bought 20% overage just to account for that. But the term for it is it looks rustic. I'm going to be painting the staircase walls today after we had our stairs put in. We had initially construction steps put in, and then we've had these staircases built. The railings aren't in yet. I'd show them to you, but they're covered with rosin paper to protect them because they're not finished right now. But they're stability-wise phenomenal. No squeaks, nothing's moving. It's great walking up and down them. But let's show you a little bit of the second floor here, and then we'll go to the mechanical room. That's what I'm really excited to show you today. So in the bedrooms, each of the kids picked out an accent wall. If you saw that video on getting the clean lines, this is a pink, really nice, covered well for Anna's room. When we come down into here, we get the red. This is Lucas's room. Lucas is doing well. He's 2 weeks away from getting his cast off. He has a red cast, and hopefully he'll be weight bearing at that point, but the bone is swarming well, and we're thankful for the progress he's making there. When you come down the hallway here, we get into Daniel's room. Daniel has a yellow wall on his here, and it looks really nice, very warm and inviting. And then Savannah chose this beautiful purple for her room, and so this is looking great. We're happy with all the bedrooms are. You'll notice that the electricians have been back, and a lot of the outlets are in. Most of the switches, there's still some that they haven't got yet. We had to order some lights for their bedrooms. A couple of those have come in. We're waiting on 2 more. And then here we are in the master. Just love the brightness of the room, and just really excited for that. Give you a little glimpse of the outside, and snowy day here today. There's a nor'easter. I think I mentioned that before, but thankfully I was able to make it up. We'll snow blow the driveway later. Probably won't show you that today. Let's go down to that mechanical room. We have been heating this whole building since we got our insulation in with this electric 20,000 kilowatt heater, and most of the time if you have the heat up, everybody in the place is too hot. Everybody who comes and works turns it off because they just are too hot. So even right now we're down to maybe half, a little over half where that is there. Just incredible. The performance of this building envelope is awesome. Been running a dehumidifier. I just turned it off for the noise, but even now you see the humidity is down to 39%. So coming to the mechanical room, as we said, the board isn't is not wired in yet. We still got some more work there, but if you look here in this closet, you'll see our pressure tank, and we have water this past weekend. We brought water in. And originally what we had done is tested these with an air pressure hose, and we put a compressor to them, put the pressure in, made sure it wasn't going to drop. Couple of things, we had a little bit of drop, so a couple of things that were worked out with that were, number one, we had to change the laundry washing machine box that we had. We put a different one in, and then with our showers we ended up cutting those off and capping them. So sometimes you can get a little bit of pressure drop because the rings that are in the shower valve, they really need water to hold, but everything has been holding. Here you see we have our hot water heater. This is a Navion. This unit here this is the recirc loop that you've seen before. If you look up here, I've brought the insulation in on this recirc line from here, and from here I got a little bit more insulation to add to this to get that recirculation line done. That kind of puts hot water through to the upstairs bathroom and to the kitchen, and so you don't have to drain the whole line to get the hot water. Next to our electrical panel, our generator panel will go in this spot here, and so that's pretty exciting. Over here you're looking at now the first floor. This is the air exchanger, and also it has a propane furnace with this. So we have a heat pump that will come into this from outside. In the event where it's really cold, or if it needs to defrost the line, there's a propane furnace that is a supplemental heat source on this. So that can come in here. We have to add to this, we're adding an HRV. That HRV is going to dump into this main line here for the first floor and the ground floor. And then if we turn the other way, this is the air exchange unit for the second floor. And so there is the supply and the return ducts. Those go all the way up, separate from the ground floor and the first floor. And this will get all connected here soon, put in, and then in the springtime, maybe once the snow melts and we get some things taken care of outside, we'll set the units outside, charge those lines, and be ready to go. So I wanted to share with you a story about our well. You've seen a couple videos previously about how we found this wonderful spot. God led us to it, talked about that process. As we were running through just different days, you run the water for an hour or two, everything clear, moving through, no problems. And then as we got to the point where we got water in, I started using it where I was washing out the brushes and for painting supplies, and I started to notice a little bit of a sulfur smell. It seemed to me that sulfur smell, if it was a sulfur water well, would have happened from the start. And so I began to investigate what could this be that causes it. And in that process, I discovered that sometimes you can have surface contamination that can happen to your well. So it could happen when you drop your pump in. It can happen in the actual well drilling process itself. The other thing, we graded the driveway out there, and the slope to take water away from the house is fairly close to that there. So it could be an issue where we need to build that up a little bit. But what I think had happened is we had some surface contamination that causes some bacteria to get introduced there, chloroform, which is like in that category of E. coli. So doing a little bit of research on that, I came across some information. You're always looking to read the comments when you go through these things to really get a better understanding. And there's a process called shock chlorination that you can do where you pour bleach down into your well, dilute it a little bit, and then you take a hose and you wash it down in just to pull that water down into your well. You let it sit for about 12 hours and then you flush it out. And that seems to have addressed that issue. We don't have any of that smell in there. So, maybe if you come across that yourself, something to be aware of. You can do it. Thankfully, we did it before we introduced water into the whole house, because that takes a little more work just to flush it out. But it's not a major deal to do that, and you can find lots of information. There's a bunch of good videos on YouTube about how to do that process for the whole house. So my project today, I got the stairway primed for these spots that we added. I'm going to get these painted with the first coat for the wall color, and probably later today I'll have to snow blow, but we'll get moving on that. Next week they're going to be coming back to start putting the floors in. So lots of little details are coming. There was a lot that I showed you in this video. There's a lot that I haven't showed you, but just wanted to make sure I got an update out there. Really appreciate your support. Thanks for coming along. Hope you have an awesome day. God bless you. See you next time.